As always, this is your trade, your responsibility. And if you're okay with that, let's keep going. Hey, everybody. So the market malaise continues a little bit here. We can see that the Qs are back down to this breakout spot. We tested it yesterday, rallied very, very hard. Software is starting to worry people. I mentioned this on a couple of shows recently, that it's quite possible that this level of disruption that we're seeing from technology, from AI in particular, the whole Claude bot movement, is starting to worry markets, because we're heading towards a reality where it's going to be difficult for analysts to really price out where stocks should be trading, right? When you think about it, in some areas, I think that plays into the broadening theme, because we do know that AI is going to continue unabated. There's going to be nonstop compute. There's building, there's fixing, there's et cetera. But in terms of some areas of technology like software, which has been smoked lately, things aren't looking very good. So if you look at Take-Two Interactive, so today they're getting absolutely smoked. So now the malaise, the nightmare panic is heading into the video game stocks, because Google announced some sort of advanced technology, sort of virtual world technology. So now everybody's sort of thinking, oh, okay, well, here's one more thing that maybe the large hyperscalers, especially Google, is going to take over. So this is unsettling, right? Because when, the stock market is a market of many stocks, and if a lot of them are sort of facing a reality that is much less certain, that it can be upsetting. And then if the selling in these areas gets severe enough, it can spread into other areas of the market, because if you're getting hurt somewhere in one place, it may turn into a liquidity event where you have to sell things that are actually looking good, that have much better prospects, but you have no choice, right? There's sort of forced selling versus the choice of selling, right? You have to understand that there are instances like last April when the market sold off really, really hard, where it was forced selling at a certain point, where people are just getting tapped on the shoulder, managers, traders, and just being told, listen, you got to get out of positions. So this is what's sort of happening in a small way to some of these areas like software, video games. And we'll have to see how that plays out. But we definitely are seeing a couple of other things as well, which is the fact that Bitcoin just cannot get out of its own way. Now it's starting to break down a little bit, as well as Ethereum and some of the other ones, which I think there's some promise in that area in terms of the tokenization of everything, and stablecoin for the transactional layer that is going to be changing over the next several years. But the fact is, it's Bitcoin itself and some of these sort of smaller coins, they're very speculative, and so a lot of fast money has been pushed into this over the years, and now it is where people are liquidating. This is not rallying. It came up a little bit, started to break out here, and now it's giving it back and starting to break down. So there are things out there that are just not not doing well, and in high beta, in the speculative areas in particular, and people are starting to get out of some positions, and they're getting worried. So, and then on top of all that, what you have is the things that have worked aren't working now. So look at FCX, copper. We know the things you can drop on your toe trade has been very popular. Here's silver. I mean, silver is just dropped $40. I mean, it's like this is incredible. Let's look at gold for a second here. This is absolutely amazing. These moves are gigantic, right? So these are things that we're going to need in this build out, but apparently things have gotten to a mania level, and this is really something that you almost never see. I mean, silver moving 35% in a day. It's absolutely astounding. So this kind of stuff is going to bleed into everything, really. Even, things that have been just absolutely solid, like a Goldman, selling off. And I mean, really, Google wins everything, wins every game. So maybe that's kind of hanging in there. But certainly there's just a lot of worry. And I think the rally is going to come, but I think we need to sort out quite a few things that are a little bit on the uncertain side right now. And we don't know how long this uncertainty is going to last, because this is really just the beginning. It's the beginning of agentic AI. It's the beginning of disrupting certain areas like software. I have no doubt that many of these companies are going to sort of figure things out, especially companies that really have very important connections with enterprise, that have these relationships. Some of them are, 80, 90% of companies use Adobe. I mean, those are strong relationships, but we just don't know how that's going to work out. Are they going to replace Adobe with some flash in the pan agentic AI? No. But what the market is saying, as I've been saying for weeks, is that it doesn't know. And the not knowing means that this incredible cash flow that they had over the last few years isn't important. The not knowing is trumping all those good things. The low multiple, it doesn't matter because what they made last year or 2 years ago doesn't really matter. The market is saying, well, what are they going to make 2 or 3 years from now? And not knowing that is weighing on many of these stocks right now. So this is just really kind of a very, very difficult market as things go a little bit more binary in terms of the, can't lose Google's to maybe everything else that doesn't have that certainty behind it is well, maybe they can't win. Maybe they're in trouble. Maybe these moats that companies have had for many years are now at risk of being at least eroded or margin eroded, or perhaps existentially, some companies are just in a difficult spot where maybe 5 years from now, many of them don't exist. So at some point, that level of uncertainty has to affect the stock market, which is a market of many, many, many stocks. And some of them may become more powerful, but some may disappear in this existing reality. And so this is something that I don't think goes away immediately. So anyway, hopefully that helps you guys sort of frame the market. As always, this is your trade, your responsibility. And if you're okay with that, let's keep going.